Good morning, ACA students and teachers, and welcome to STARS Network News Live. I'm Kayla from Miss Fitzpatrick's class.
And I'm Jacob from Mrs. Hill's class, and we're glad you tuned in. Today is Monday, December 17th, 2018.
Hey, Jacob, can you believe that today is our final broadcast of the year?
Wait, what do you mean? I thought Miss Summers said that we were in news crew until February.
You're right, she did, but the next time we will be on air will be in 2019.
Wow, that's right. We won't be on the air tomorrow due to Mass, and tomorrow is our last day of school for 2018. When we come back to school in January, it'll be 2019.
Just a quick programming note. There will be no news the week we get back. STARS Network News will return to the air on Monday, January 7th. Hey, Jacob, what are you looking at?
It's the ACA Christmas card. I just had a special delivery from the newsroom. And look how beautiful it is.
Let me see it. What is this present on the inside of the card?
It's a QR code. I had a chance to scan it this morning. When your parents scan it with their cell phones, a special video pops up.
That's really neat. I can't wait until I get home to ask my mom to show me the special video. Let's head over to Stephen now to hear about the weather.
Thank you, Kayla. I saw the video last week when my card arrived in the mail. As for the weather, it feels a bit chilly this morning, but it will warm up. Today's high temperature will be 66 degrees. It will be partly cloudy all day and then drop about 20 degrees this evening. Back to you, Kayla.
Thanks, Stephen. Jacob, what's for lunch today?
Miss Day is serving chicken sandwiches, tater tots, mixed fruits, and cookies.
Sounds good. Let's remember to be polite to our cafeteria workers and volunteers. They work hard to provide us a nice lunch. Time to celebrate birthdays.
It certainly is, and we have a lot to celebrate today because we have to announce all of the remaining birthdays of 2018 and half birthdays. I got this. I can do it. Happy birthday to our very own Word of the Weeker, Olivia from Mrs. Hill's class. Happy birthday to Daniel in Mrs. O'Malley's class, Isabella in Mrs. Bryant's class, Madeline in Mrs. Hammond's class, Carmen, who is also in Mrs. Hammond's class, Bernard in Mrs. Jacoby's class, Aiden in Mrs. Figg's advisory, Joaquin in Mrs. Bryant's class, and Reagan in Mrs. Stemper's advisory.
That can't be everyone, is it?
Not even close. Happy birthday to Ava in Mrs. Stemper's advisory, Gavin in Mrs. Benson's class, Celine in Mrs. Casper's class, Reese in Mrs. Fitzpatrick's class, Angela in Coach Winter's advisory, Ryan in Mrs. Bennett's class, Josiah in Mrs. Bennett's class, Liv in Mrs. Benson's class, and Ryan in Mrs. A's advisory.
Wow, that was a lot. And I didn't even hear you mention the half birthdays. Jacob, you need a break. So let's head over to Olivia to hear about the half birthdays. Olivia, happy birthday and take it away.
Thanks, Kayla, and good morning, stars. Before we get to half birthdays, it is very important that I announce today is also Pope Francis's birthday. Maybe we can say a prayer for him later today. Now for the half birthdays. Happy half birthday to Lawson in Mrs. Hammett's class, AJ in Mrs. Benson's class, Abby in Mrs. Waters' advisory, Chase in Mr. Natina's advisory. We also have Lourdes in Mrs. Casper's class, Amanda in Mrs. Bryant's class, Sophia in Coach Anderson's advisory, Patrick in Mrs. Bonciel's advisory, Garrett in Mrs. Dehan's advisory, Ryan in Mrs. Jensen's class, Emma in Mrs. Jacoby's class, and Ava in Coach Anderson's advisory. We cannot forget to mention our teachers and staff birthdays also. Happy early birthday to Mrs. Kloss and half birthday to Mrs. Christina Williams. Miss Day and Mrs. Martins, and Mrs. McRory. Wow, I feel like I need Christmas break just to recover from announcing all of the birthdays. Back to you, Jacob.
Thanks, Olivia, and I completely agree with you. Make sure you tune in next year for another edition of Stars Network News Live.
This is Kayla signing off.
And this is Jacob signing off.
Merry Christmas!